guys, welcome. Today I got quite a few things I want to get accomplished, but I wanted to talk to you about my experience of buying quote-unquote my dream property. Dream properties consist of a lot of different things. A lot of people think of having an oceanfront property on a lake, but I say right now my dream property consists of the needs that I have right now. Involves one, having a roof over my head, houses, whatever, but I wanted to have a place that I could bring my work home and just park the gooseneck without having to worry about backing it up, not worried about having no space to turn around or lack of space in general. So we have an 8-acre lot, which is about 80% usable. And the biggest thing I wanted to have was the area to potentially put a shop or to buy a place with a shop. So I'm going to tell you guys the story of how we got lucky enough to get this. And it met my goal of buying a house when I was 27 years old. So big step for me. And I'm going to tell you some of the things that don't do when you become a homeowner. So let's get this thing down to the shop. I guess where my story could start is what my plan was back in the day. I had a bit of a, not like I went to jail kind of a thing, but there's a couple stressful moments in my life that led me to building essentially a small house, and I had a 2-year plan for that. And when that 2-year plan ended, I was going to be 27 years old, and I wanted to have saved up enough money to buy my house, or at least get the down payment on it. Now, my criteria for a house here in the state that I'm in, it's not really cheap to buy anything here. Empty lot especially, it's almost cheaper to buy a house already built on a lot of, you know, something of what you're looking for. So I had money set aside, and I got a dying craving to buy a truck. And I'm sitting in that truck that I bought. And so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna push my plan one more year before I buy a house. Save up my money some more, and we can go from there. Then I met this little blonde girl, her name's Taylor. She's in the house right now. She had this idea. She was gonna start looking for houses. Now my plan, my idea of a plan always, before you wanna buy something, do the research on it ahead of time. So you know when you're ready to go buy, you're gonna get what you have the knowledge before you get screwed over on it. So she started looking for houses, and our budget was, let's say, under 300. That's very reasonable for around here if you want any kind of property with any land that's usable. And there was house after house that was just, that had potential, but it needed a lot of work. Now, buying a project truck is fun to put all that work into, but if you're trying to actually use it immediately, it's not a good idea. You just spend the money ahead of time, that way you don't spend it towards the end. So our budget slowly started to, well, our allowance, what we were willing to spend, started going up and up. A little tight through there. So at the discovery that we might need to spend a little bit more money to get something that's going to make more sense, get something we want that we're not going to have to put even more money into, because if you get something for $2 right now and then you work on it for 6 months and spend another $100, why didn't you just spend $3 right in the beginning? That's where we started, and we're finding some that piqued our interest a little bit. We went out, looked at them, said this could work with some, modification and moving some dirt around. This could work. So we're finding stuff that we like. And the price makes sense for the most part for what you're getting. It's not the end of the world. We had to go talk to a mortgage broker now. Now this is the point where it starts to get real fun. If you guys have never bought a house before, fair warning right now, all the paperwork and hassle and all the everything that has to go into place, if you don't flat out have the money to buy it, it is such a pain going through all the processes, and it takes so long, and it's fingers crossed and everything. But the first place we went to, we already had a family friend for a realtor, so we had that covered. No worries there. She referred us to this mortgage broker. We go there. This is coming off my most profitable year yet, and that was before YouTube bucks or anything started kicking in, and I was feeling pretty good about myself. Well, this broker, she shut me down pretty dang hard, and I have no idea why. Go to the first place and they give you a BS answer that you can't get whatever you're looking for, no matter what, go to a different place, get a second opinion, because that will regain all your, it brings you back up. So what I'm doing here is I need to change one of these hoses because it's been leaking in here because it's not crimped good. I'd figure out which one that was. It's this guy here. Yeah, it's still leaking. So we go to a different mortgage broker. Actually, another family friend of Taylor's. What a weight lifted off our shoulders. Finding a place that we liked required a little bit more money. Realizing that that first mortgage broker was a complete waste of time and ultimately a major ego reducer, despite thinking that I was making good money. So much better. More positive person and everything, so always get a second opinion if you don't like what the first one has to say. If there's somebody that's willing to help, they'll find a way to make stuff work, and it actually wasn't a big deal at all. How it played out is I was looking for a place to build a shop, which is going to cost more money. So why not put that money into the initial buying cost of the whole property? And Taylor sends me a photo just like that, minus all my crap around it, of a shop. And I thought, dang, that's pretty nice. How's the house look? And she's like, oh, it's a 3,000 square foot house built in 2005. 4 bedroom, 3 bath, 9 bedroom, living room, everything. I'll show you, it's kind of cool. I'm gonna check the hose. I don't know which one was leaking. So I go ahead and get my remote, drop it down or lift it up. But it seems to be, when I lift it up and max it out, I saw a drip coming there earlier on. Yep. That bottom guy right there, you can see it seeping around. And it actually wasn't that big of a deal to get Taylor and I approved to get this house. Her and I bought it together, no complaints about that, and happier that went that way because she took care of a lot of the paperwork through the buying process, and there is a lot, so many hoops to jump through. All boiled down is spend money now so that you're not spending it later on for the same thing. It's got the tall door, so we can fit the logging truck in there. It needs to be a 14-foot door anyway. And it's a 1,600 square foot shop. I'm thinking, dang, that's pretty nice. That's gonna save 100, later on, because it's already here. How much is the property? She sends me the link for the whole ad. Dang, get scrolling through, I'm thinking, oh man, I don't mind if it's a small house, a small house. It gets the job done, keeps me dry, place to eat dinner and take a shower, we're good to go. But it's a 3,000 square foot house, and I thought, dang, the price tag on this is gonna be through the roof. And it wasn't too bad. And only after buying the place and going every job that I go to through logging, forestry clearing around properties, people buy a new house that they want to clear the land for fire prevention. I ask, I'm not too nosy about it, but I, show a little curiosity. I asking people in the area how much they're paying for the piece of property with their house. And most of the time they're paying more than what we paid for this place. So now it came down to we needed to get approved for a little bit more, because I put in an offer that was 75 less than what they wanted, because that's well we were, that's all that we were good for. And I thought, dang, see if this goes through. It didn't go through. They had 2 other offers and they counter offered all of us at the same price. I don't know how we got this place, because there was so much walking on nails and just so much walking on glass and just being careful the whole time. Superstitious and everything. I didn't tell you guys about it. I called it a top secret project. There was a cash offer and some other offer that was better than ours. Better than just getting money from the bank. Somehow, through the grace of God, they took our offer, which was a complete blessing in its own. I have no idea why they accepted ours over theirs, but it is truly, on all levels, the property I've been looking for forever. And it's not till only after being here for a year that I'm really starting to understand that, because we have a seasonal pond, which is nice. It's in the wrong season, it's in winter time, it's full. I have tons of property that's usable to back up trailers, to park other people's stuff so they can work on their projects. I have somebody coming through, it seems like every couple of days, working on something here. I don't mind it. I don't mind doing favors for people that, show respect, and they're thankful for the help that I'm able to, provide with this shop. Countless projects coming in and out of here. So at 27 years old, just slightly into it, my plan actually somehow worked out. Through the help of Dad, Taylor, and everybody involved, the realtor. So much stuff goes into buying a house, you have no idea. but I have multiple accesses, 8 minutes to town. We're down in the valley where I always wanted to be. The actual road I wanted to live on was right over there. And it just, oh, I couldn't believe it. After everything that happened in the last couple years to build up to this place being ours now, it's a big time blessing. But I'll tell you some things that you got to be careful with when buying a house, because the mortgage each month isn't necessarily like outgoingly scary, but it's nevertheless, there were still 3 bedrooms that could be occupied. So we had a guest room, had one of my buddies move in there, and then some of Taylor's people move in. I'll tell you this right now, unless you have some people that are ready just to be clean cut and do everything, keep everything in order, it's very difficult to have people living in your house, despite being great friends with them or not. You got to be careful doing that. So be very careful with having tenants or having roommates or anything when it's under your actual roof. I'll say that right now. Do refinancing and stuff like that, because to get into what we got, the interest rate wasn't really that bad at the time. But then COVID hit, we refinanced, saved a couple bucks a month, but it cost about 10 to make that happen. So it's going to be years before that pays it off. But it lowered our interest rate and a couple other things. And if you buy in California, you will know, or any state maybe for that matter, that has higher fire danger, your fire insurance is going to be expensive. But somehow we got the shop. That's all I really cared about. The house could be very minimal, but we got a big old house. Happened to be pre-manufactured house built in 2005. It's 3 wide, it's like 80 feet long, something like that, and it's huge. I thought the insurance was going to be insane on it, but if it's a pre-manufactured home, the insurance points, the fire points, they don't count. So our insurance is same coverage, but it's way cheaper. Way cheaper. The point of just everything that goes involved getting this place, you got to talk to title company, realtor, the bank, you know, the inspectors and everything. That the list just keeps climbing and climbing and climbing, and it's all people just making sure they keep their job and making sure that you're not buying a piece of crap, or you know, letting you know if it's going to need work. But just so many hands it has to go through. Title company stuff, missing one signature, getting postponed for 2 weeks, thinking stuff's not going to go through because there's other people trying to bid on it, and it's just so much stress. But at the end of the day, I thought if we buy this place with the mortgage tied up and everything, I was like, I'm not gonna be able to do project stuff. I'm just gonna be constantly working. But once everything settles in, it is like the best thing going, because yes, you're paying mortgage, but that could be rent. You could be paying rent versus building capital in something. Going back to the stress and everything that goes into buying a house, it's not so much of like when you buy a car and you have to, you know, take out a loan on the car. They take care of that all in-house. That's not how it worked here. You got to go meet your own broker. You got to talk to your realtor. You got to go look at the house, all that stuff. And then when you say, we'll go ahead and take their offer after counter offer, back and forth, stupid stuff, you got to get quotes on insurance. You got to file all that stuff into the whole packet so that your monthly payment has all that taken care of, the taxes and all that stuff. And then somebody misses one signature, or somebody's out of town and holds your whole escrow up another couple weeks. File extensions, and the whole time you're just going, man, just make it end, let's just have this house in our name, let's move into it. And then they miss another signature. The stress level was very high, but I'm happy it's all said and done, because now I can back my trailer into the shop and just be out here on my own time working on my own stuff. So let's find this leak. Oh brother, that is a miserable one. It runs the whole length into the box. That's unfortunate. It's leaking in the box. It appears to be that it only leaks when I go all the way up. So this end is fine. Dang. Well, it's a whole line. I don't have a long enough one. I'll keep my spare in there in case one of these other ones starts to leak. Got it right there. Did it leak? Oh, it leaked on the outside too. What the heck? Coming off of this one. So I do have to replace one right here anyway. Gonna be long enough. I bought a bunch of this stuff a while back, and I think it's a slip of Dad's. So that is not gonna be long enough, but I got couplers so that I can splice these together. I don't know. I might tighten that one, see if we get another run, but you can see it already dripped a bunch right there. It got to be the point where the tail wouldn't even lift, like all the way. It would bottom out, or I couldn't lift up off the ball all the way. I'd have to collapse the cylinders for the tail. So we got 2 of them that have failed. Everybody that's going out there to quote unquote buy their dream home, you're gonna have to break your comfort zone just a little bit. And I don't want you guys going out there rushing into buying something because you heard old Sam say, go ahead, buy your house. Be smart about it. You got to know that you're going to have the money coming in every month to make the payment, because it's like if you're renting and you don't make the rent, then you just get kicked out. It's not going to really affect you that much. You got to move back to your parents or something, I don't know. But that screws up a whole bunch of stuff. There's a lot of money gone down the drain just in closing costs and everything. I could have bought like a pretty stout 12 valve for just closing costs, like an expensive one. People would have been like, why would you spend that kind of money on a 12 valve? But that was the closing costs. Some fees that I don't know where the hell they go. I don't know what they're for. But to do that, buy the house, you're gonna just take it in the shorts a little bit, kind of get screwed over. But I'll tell you what, at the end of the day, having a big old house, having the pool table and everything to have groups, friends over and stuff like that, entertain some good people, it's been worth it. It's been awesome. I wouldn't take it back at any point in time. But it was not easy getting here, nevertheless. There's so many people you got to think to make this happen. And I think a lot of YouTube videos, I couldn't have built the green truck the way I built it. Grandma's truck wouldn't be what it is. And it's all because of everything boiled down to having the ability to get this. And sitting around on the couch is not going to get it for you. I don't know. Maybe I wish I could make super YouTube bucks, but maybe we'll get there someday. I'm going to keep trying what I'm trying here. But as it sits right now, it is an 8-acre lot, 1,600 square foot shop, 3,000 square foot house. Living the dream. I would say that. I'm very grateful, very happy about it. And the good news about it is we no longer have the tenants in the house. But I'm going to break the news to you guys right now that Taylor and I are going to have our own child soon. A baby boy is going to be here in February. So we're excited about that. House is to ourselves for now. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and found something informative around here. I guess just being patient pays out, because we could have jumped on something before and got something we didn't like that cost just the same. And very, very grateful about everything I have in my life right now. Thank you guys for watching these videos, and we'll see you guys on the next time when I make this shop even bigger, because I've outgrown it. Nah, I'm just kidding. We'll see you guys. Thanks for watching.